ho, ho, and a warm welcome to this special Christmassy. As you can tell from all the decorations we've been painting on the around the studio, a live stream. I don't do these live streams as much as I perhaps used to do, but I do enjoy it when I do the little short lives that you see me in the car when I'm out and about, suffering the slings and arrows of having to mix amongst the sheeple. So here I am anyway in the studio, and it's just me, and it's just you, and it's just my producer Jed. And lest you be under any doubt, cheers everybody. I've been threatening to have an alcohol fueled stream, and here it is. So you're all very welcome. Just make sure wherever you're watching this from, by the way, I know we're streaming across the universe. Oh, hello, Marie Walker. Glad you got your badges. Glad you got your badges. The badges are flying out the door. And naturally, you can see we've got them here. Pure blood. If you're pure blood, if you're face mask exempt, which actually Marie Walker came in very handy last night. I'll talk to you about that as well. So yeah, anyway, good to see you all. Hello, Chris Davies, my good friend. I'm not sure I'm the hardest working man in show business, but I work as hard as I possibly can. Hello, Gary. I'm glad you got your badge as well. We're just flicking up our messages. One way you can support the podcast, if you like the podcast. Oh, hello to my friend Caroline Santos as well. Good to see you. I think you're last time, Caroline, we spoke, you're in Italy, I believe. So very warm welcome anyway. And by the way, what we're going to do is we're going to do this live for about 45 minutes or so on all the video platforms, including YouTube and Facebook. And then I'm going to turn them off. And if you want to continue to watch the juicy, the spicy last 15 minutes, then you got to go across to either Rumble, got to go across to Odyssey, BrandNewTube, go across to these platforms, and you will get the spicy, unedited stuff that we can't possibly put out. Aloha to my friend Donny Girl, and a Merry Christmas, Meli Kalikimaka. Hey, just straight off the top, right? How many people knew that was Merry Christmas in Hawaiian? Meli Kalikimaka means Merry Christmas. I could sing the rest of the song if I wanted, by the way. And potentially when I finish this, I might even sing, yeah, Donny Girl gets it. You know, Donny Girl, I have such fond memories of my time visiting the Hawaiian Islands. Yeah, Meli, in actual fact, on my Christmas tree, I got a Christmas decoration which says Meli Kalikimaka. There you go, folks. This is not just educational. This is not just political. It's educational. I'm giving you guys a lesson in different languages, most of which I can't speak, including arguably English. But anyway, there we are. Yes, Meli Kalikimaka. Yeah. So anyway, we got loads of stuff to cover. I'm gonna talk about the insanity of the new restrictions that have come in across the country. I'm going to chat about that. Talk about Scotland. Going to talk about Wales. Going to talk about good old Northern Ireland. Going to talk about all those places. I talk about England as well. Now, because we are currently broadcasting to the anti-free speech platforms, we will have to be a little bit guarded. But the last quarter of an hour, we're going to rip off. That sounds a bit dodgy, doesn't it? We're going to tear off, that sounds even worse. We're going to remove, discard our little self-censorship, and we're going to tell it like it is with regard to one particular story that came out today. So that's the narrative. Yeah. Well, Chris Davies, what happened with new using lens? I couldn't see anything. Yeah, I'll talk to you about that, Chris, as well. Well, my producer Jed will confirm that I love to experiment with stuff. Sometimes my experiments don't work out very well, though. Yeah, sometimes they're very bad. Good evening, Dave Barker, Melanie. Good to see you in the stream. Iber, Leslina, all you folks. Good to see you all here as we put the world to right. Yeah, Yeah, Marie Walker, I seen this is a sort of sophisticated. Oh, hang on a second. I see if I can get this up here. Loza B. Where does I get this? Marie Walker says, yeah, Michelle, I was going to say Michelle Obama, but no, not Michelle Obama. Michelle O'Neill, the co-First Minister of Northern Ireland, said Omicron is going to hit Northern Ireland like a ton of bricks. And listen, you better pay attention to her, because that is an epidemiological term. I understand the top virologists keep references like, a ton of bricks, like a tsunami, a tidal wave. They all say that. Hi, Loza. Good to see you. And yes, Jed confirms, let me bring it up, Jed, that I do experiment and it drives him mad. Jed's sanity has been deeply, deeply tested by yours truly this year. But we are making great progress. In fact, actually, folks, just to let you know, that over on BrandNewTube, for example, we only went there we set up shop on BrandNewTube on I think, Jed, beginning of April, something like 4th of April or whatever, something like that. We just hit over 1 million views. 1 million views on BrandNewTube. Isn't that interesting? 1 million views over there. And when I'm on the YouTubes, I'm lucky if I can get half a dozen views on a Sunday afternoon. It's almost like a censorship. It's 3rd of April. Jed confirms from the 3rd of April to the 20th of December, 1 million views later. So RF Logan says, how about a chat up with Gemma? That's my good friend Gemma O'Doherty. Absolutely up for that one, RF Logan Walker. I just need, we've been trying to set stuff up, but then, Gemma O'Doherty and people living in the Irish Republic, they have got all kinds of issues. So hello there, Miss L. Good to see you. And again, cheers to everyone. I've got the festive cheer. Who said? And look, just proof. Proper crystal, by the way. No cheap plastic here. No. And of course, I do. Yeah. Dave Barker says. Dave Barker, you're absolutely right. He says, we'll get this one up here. David, I hope you don't mind me saying this dark background, dark jumper, looks like your head has been photoshopped. Yeah, it does. I know. And to be honest, Dave, I was aware of that, and I just couldn't be bothered changing into something, lighter. One of my numerous blue shirts, for example, we've got about 1,000 blue shirts. Hi, Lynn, by the way. Good to see you as well. Good to see all you folks in fine form. Yes, Chris Davies, I hope to meet up with my good friend Peter McElvenna of Hearts of Oak. You should support the Hearts of Oak channel, by the way. And Peter, of course, as those of you who follow that channel will know. Hello, Matty. He is. Thank you very much, Melanie. She thinks I look ministerial. You see, there you go, Dave Barker. Take that. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, Peter McElvenna. We are hoping to meet up and maybe do a kind of a record or a live over here sometime in the next week, sometime between Christmas and New Year. But I don't know because of the restrictions that have been brought in. You see, we'll get on to the restrictions. We're going to get on to those. So listen, so let me see where so I'm putting my festive spirit to one side. And what we're going to talk about, thank you, folks. I have to preach Lee Sainsbury's. I'm going to preach the gospel, but I have to watch what I preach, because if I preach it on these anti-free speech platforms, I could get another strike. And I don't need another strike. Don't strike me at YouTube, at Christmas, YouTube. Christmas is not for striking people like me. Well, actually, it is. Every day of the week, they want to strike people like me. Right. Oh yeah, I'm just reading some of the comments. Folks, remember, I enjoy this really for your comments rather than my waffle. David, wasn't good what happened at Saturday's protest in Belfast. No, it was not, Marie Walker. It was not. Police. The police are essentially morphing into something which operates against the British, the British people. I'm glad Chris has enjoyed. I did a podcast on John Gaunt, and thanks, Chris, for your kind comments. One of the things that I like to do, especially in the podcast, is I can. Miss L says I look like the milk tray. Oh, Miss L, do you remember those ads for Milk Tray, where this guy in a kind of black turtleneck with like James Bond type character he was? Well, I may be shaken, but I'm never stirred. I might stir some things. But anyway, John Gaunt, he's been on GB News in particular, seems to be a permanent addition. I wonder how much expenses he gets for being on GB News. That'd be interesting to know, wouldn't it? Along with some of the other grifters that turn up on that platform. But yes, Chris Davies, I was very happy to do that. I think it needed to be said. I can agree with people. I can disagree with people on some issues and still want to be friends with them if they want. It's their choice. I don't care. I don't care. What Dave Barker says, David getting carried away now. James Bond. Hey, hang on a second, Dave Barker. Let me just hold you there. They are currently looking for a new James Bond. As you know, folks, you will know that. And I feel that, am I too old to get the role yet? Do you think they would like to have a pureblood as James Bond? I mean, I think that's a very eminently sensible suggestion. So perhaps that boat has not yet sailed. So hello, Barbara Broccoli. If you're, let's see your comments. Basildon Bond. If you're still looking to I mean, of course, the only thing is, to be fair, the next James Bond must be a woman. Just must be. Yes, Carrie, I have the wrong shaped body parts. Thank God for that, I might add. But has to be a woman, and preferably an ethnic woman. Now, the only good thing is I identify as those things. So I reckon I have got, yes, Melanie Bliss, James Bond with a dimple. Oh, God, the dimple. Oh, David Vance, yeah, 00 Vance, license to annoy, a license to get the strikes on the YouTubes. But never mind, we're coming for you on BrandNewTube. We're coming for you on BitChute. We're coming for you on the podcast. We're coming on Odyssey. We're coming on all across these other platforms. We don't need YouTube. We don't need Facebook. What we do need is, Dave, what we need is just make sure you hit those other channels and subscribe so that you get notifications, because one of these days I'm going to be erased, vanished from the big tech tyranny platforms. And so it's important you find me elsewhere. So, you know, as I've proved, life goes on beyond Twitter, and life goes on beyond some of these other platforms too. So anyway, let's get rolling here. That's enough of this nonsense preamble from me. So we've seen the UK, the different regions getting themselves stuck into some kind of all kinds of restrictions. So if we can bring up, to start with, please, Jed, let's talk about Wales, because this is good. Listen to this. Only 6 people are allowed to meet in pubs in Wales. Blimey, that's going to be a pretty quiet pub, isn't it? That's going to 6 people in the pub. What? That's going to be like the worst pubs in the world are going to be in Wales. But yeah, this is in Wales. We've got Kim Jong Drakeford. Here he is. Look at that guy. Look at the absolute shape. I know we shouldn't disparage people on their appearance, but seriously, look at the cut of that guy who is First Minister of Wales. Look at him, social worker on steroids of mega power granted him by COVID legislation. But let's get into this. So let's look. Yeah, no more than 6 people will be allowed to meet in pubs, cinemas, and restaurants. Wow. Going to be a really empty cinema, that. I mean, maybe that's a good idea. I'd like to have a cinema pretty much to myself. So that would be a good idea. 2 meters social distancing will return. 2 meters. Licensed premises will have to offer cable service. Yes, it's reading different things here. Cable service. Face masks will have to be worn and contact tracing details collected. Yes, because of the deadly Omicron. Outdoor events will be limited to 50 with 30 indoors. Oh, 30. So who's having 30 people around in the afternoon? But no restrictions were brought in for smaller meetings in private homes. So you got right. And then first, this is great. Well, listen, look at this. First Minister Kim Jong Drakeford said to limit the amount of socializing you do. Yeah, well, it is Christmas and New Year, so you don't socialize. You don't socialize then. And take a lateral flow test before you go to meet other people. Seriously, anyone? Is there anybody in the world? Well, I suppose there must be some people who actually do this. because some interesting gossip on Drakeford's son. He's no hero either. Can't go into that, but interesting, juicy tidbit there. So hospitality firms, of course, have said the new rules will, of course, they'll hit their business. So that's the point about it. But there was a particular joy that I did talk about in one of the podcasts today, but I wanted to bring it up with you as well because it amused me. See the Welsh Millennium Centre is going to be closed from the 26th. That's so. I mean, oh dear me, the damage being done to entertainment is shocking. Hi, Richie Dupe. Good to see you on the stream. Drakeford also said that football, so sporting events in Wales, have to be behind closed doors. That's it. I'm sorry about that. Listen to this one, Donny Girl. This is good. This is a cracker. So in Wales, from I think Boxing Day, you cannot have I think it's large events. Basically, you can't have football fans going to football grounds in Wales. Yeah, this is the point here. But what about the Welsh teams who play in the English League? Cardiff, Swansea, for example. I think Swansea are in the Premier, or if not, near the champ. Hi, Jason O'Brien. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome to the party. We're all having a mad party here. Cheers to everybody. And I hope you are all enjoying yourself and relaxing during this Yuletide. But if you're a fan of Cardiff City or Swansea, you can't go to see them play at home, but you can go to see them play away if that's in England. Because science. It's important you understand that. Those of you anti-science bigots out there, anti-science, anti-vax bigots, you don't understand there's deep science behind this, because coronavirus won't respect people, if football fans, if they go to see them play at home games. But if you go to an away game in a different country, then it's okay. It's absolutely fine. It's not going to be a problem. Yeah. This is another one. Yeah, actually, two other really good points about Wales. People are going to be fined for having gatherings of more than 30 people in private homes. Hello, Leslie Butler. Good to see you on the stream as well, my friend. Here's to you. Cheers. Thanks for all your support this year. And that actually goes for all of you. Thank you so much. But yeah, you're going to be fined if you have a gathering of 30 people. Who's going to police that then? Oh, I know who's going to police that. Who's going to police that is curtain twitchers, people counting the number of visitors going to their neighbours. Oh my God, I've just seen 31 people go into that house. Quick, officer, ring, 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 ring. I want to report a major incident. What's happened? Oh, 31 people have turned up at 16 Acacia Avenue. Oh, you're right. I can't do the Welsh accent. It goes so sadly wrong. But they're going to be right round. We're sending 6 squad cars right round now. Don't worry. We're going to arrest them. We're going to take them and we're going to put them into the COVID prison. So, that was another bit of insanity from Wales. In fact, it's all insanity in Wales. Mr. Drakeford has not gone as far as England. For people, this is about self-isolation. Well, yeah, they want everyone to self-isolate. They want everybody. They want everyone to turn in on their neighbours. So that's Drakeford. That's the lunacy of Wales. Oh, the other thing. One other thing I'm not sure if it's in that article, but you may have seen. Oh, thanks, by the way, all of those who are now watching. If you like this, give it the thumbs up or the hearts. If you're on Facebook. Give it the thumbs up. Let's see how many of you can hit those thumbs up. And if you're watching this on any other platform, hit the heart button or the like button, especially if you're in YouTube. YouTube hates that. Every time you hit the heart button, some YouTuber in Silicon Valley starts to cry. So you know what to do. Hit that heart button. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Yeah, the other thing that got me about Wales was, did you see that people are being told that they will be penalised? They will be penalised if they go to work. Did you see that one? That was off radar level of stupid. So let me get this one right. So if I go to work and I could be working from home, then I'm going to be fined. I'm going to be fined. Yeah, you're going to be fined. Why is that? Because science, which begs the question, what if the person works in a pub? Oh, look, don't ask these impertinent questions of someone as brilliant as Kim Jong Drakeford. Remember, the pure blood mask and face exempt mask are down below. Make it, buy the perfect Christmas present. Call yourself a pure blood. I actually, I got some people attack me for saying, "Oh, we don't like this pure blood. It sounds a bit like Nazis." Does it really? You think it sounds like Nazis, do you? Pure blood is, it's a Harry Potter meme. It started as a Harry Potter meme, but I object to being otherized as, I'm unvaccinated, as if I'm in an imperfect state. I'm in a perfect state. So are you guys. Hello, Billy Piper's teeth. I thought you told us you weren't joining us, and now here you are. Good to see you. Yes, Donny girl, that's okay. You're at work. I'm in and out. Just glad to see you here. Yeah, Richie says, fine 60 quid for turning up to work. Some people don't even earn that much for a shift. I know, it's outrageous, isn't it? It's outrageous what's happening in Wales. But there you go. Yeah, back to pure blood. Pure blood is a non-inclusive term. Good. Of course it's a bloody non-inclusive term. I welcome those people who have had the jabs and have seen the light. I know some of them, don't get me wrong. All I am simply saying is those of us who have not been jabbed should be proud of our status, and we can wear it on our hearts if we want. That's just the truth of the matter. But it's not. Oh, it's a Nazi term. Some of the people that say that are the people that want to lock up the purebloods in camps, which makes them the you-know-what. That's right, exactly. So cheers to that one. Right, that's Wales suitably mocked. Shall we turn to good old Northern Ireland? So Northern Ireland, let's bring up, they've been having a big meeting today. And oh no, I'm devastated. The nightclubs are closing from Boxing Day. I won't be able to, look, I think, you see this picture? I'm third arm on the left, boogieing the night away about 100 years ago. So yeah, nightclubs will have to close from 6 o'clock on Boxing Day. Take that, nightclub owners. And indoor standing events will be prohibited. Actually, just on the stream, who knows what exactly is an indoor standing event? I've not been able to work this out. I don't know what an indoor standing event is. I know what a nightclub is. Haven't not been to one in about 40 years. But anyway, yes, dancing will also be prohibited. So there you go. Do no dancing. Why is that? Because Omicron latches on. If you start boogieing, and you can't blame it on the boogie, you have to blame it on the Omicron in 2021, my friends. You're not allowed to dance in pubs and places like that, but you can dance at weddings. Why is that? Science. Leslie Butler is absolutely right, by the way. A couple of great comments here. Leslie says, the pure blood camps will be full of the best people. Yes, we absolutely will. And Nick here says, is it me, or has John Gaunt turned into a guy who would fit in very nicely in 1930s Germany wearing a brown shirt? Well, of course, Nick, this is the issue. This is the issue. Either these people don't see it, or something's just gone wrong. I don't understand. But back to Northern Ireland. So yeah, no dancing, no nightclubs. Now, what else have we got? Hospitality venues will return to table service only, with limits of no more than 6 people allowed to sit together at a table. But that won't apply to weddings or civil partnership celebrations, because science, you see how science works? Some of you people just don't understand science. Exactly, Jason O'Brien, science. And then what else have we got? Let's scroll down a bit. So there's no dancing, there's no nightclubs, no more than 6 people. What else? Oh yeah, further guidance to work from home. So the entire public sector is basically taking a 2 or 3 week holiday at least. And then people are urged to reduce household mixing to 3. They're urged. Well, people will consider that and go, I've been urged to do that. Nah, I'm not doing it. So Leslie makes a point. Who makes up this nonsense? It has to be a combination of power crazy scientists and civil servants, Leslie. That's the answer. Billy Piper says, I have not thrown shapes on the dance floor for over 20 years, but I defend the rights of the youth to make the same mistakes as I did. Yeah, well, in my case, Billy, it's been a lot longer than 20 years. That said, actually, seriously, one of the things that is very distressing about this here that we're reading. Hi, James Jameson. The thing I wanted to say to you was that, yes, Craig Robert makes it here, actually. Young people were encouraged to go and get their additional you-know-whats, because then they would get their vaccine passport, and that would get them into the nightlife. They like the nightlife. We want the nightlife, all that sort of stuff. Yeah. So now, yeah, you've had your jobs and the nightlife's closed. Sorry, lols. And that's how it is. So a lot of very, very disappointed young people, I would imagine. He says, going for refreshment. I'm not young, but I can take some little refreshment here. So yeah, so in Northern Ireland, yeah, this is what they have announced today. So, and they're going to review it on the 30th of December. Yeah. So James Jameson says, he reveals that I was an extra on Saturday Night Fever. Well, we've all got the fever these days, haven't we, James Jameson? Oh, ain't that the truth? Yeah, and then of course all the usual nonsense from the politicians here. This is a good one. The rules on face coverings will also be strengthened. Right. Well, I was out at a pantomime last night. Oh yes, I was. And when I was at it, actually, I had my face mask exempt badge on. I always wear that because I know when I'm out, because I don't want to talk. I'm not explaining myself to anybody. I am face mask exempt because I say that. That is the law. End of. Anyway, some busybody man in the ushers who patrol the edges of the theatre. He come on. He sort of flashed his torch and sort of indicated, like put your mask off, because you have to wear masks in the theatre. Oh yeah, so lovely to see young children wearing face masks. Oh, it was wonderful to see it last night. And of course, I had my badge on, so just pointed the badge, and then he shut up and went away. But yeah, so interesting comments on thalidomide here, by the way. Donny Girl says, my uncle was born with a short arm because of thalidomide. Thalidomide, which was a super duper safe drug, 100% safe, 100% effective. And then problems. But that could never happen again. And because we're on some of the anti-free speech platforms, we can't say much more about it. So that's Northern Ireland dealt with. Right, now we're going to zoom up on my grand tour of the UK. We're going to zoom up to Scotland. I don't have a link for this, but I just wanted to talk about this because it amused me. And again, look, hello there, Jackie, Ms. Brexit. Good to see you as well on the stream. So many good friends here on the live stream tonight, and you're all welcome. Up in Scotland. So up in Scotland, Cranky's been busy, hasn't she? So Cranky, of course, she's rushed to bring in additional restrictions. And one of the ones that got me was apparently, again, because it varies across the UK, you see, you can have up to 500 people. 500 people. I love the angry face, by the way, on the emoticons. Send more angry faces. That suits me. Yes, Kim Jong Cranky of the People's Republic of Scotland. Kim Jong, she said you can have now more than 500 people at a footy game. Now, here's the thing about that. Jackie, why haven't I been in gym? Jackie asked the question. Well, folks, why not, if you're on Twitter, why not ask Twitter to allow me to debate John Gaunt, man to man, on his scurrilous suggestions regarding how the purebloods should be treated? I'd like to see that. I bet you would as well. And I bet you I know who would win. But anyway, because you're not going to shout over me, John Gaunt, the way you shout over other people, that I would not allow that. Yeah, that's that one of the things. But Cranky said anyway, only 500 people maximum at a football match. Coronavirus, if it sees more than 500, boom, it's in there. It's like a Ferrari firing through the the crowd of 501 to get them. Now, here's the thing. How does the club ascertain which 500? How do they do that? Yes, Jason, by all means, tweet GB News, ask him, why not set up the big debate? The big debate. Why the, well, you could phrase it in different ways, but I mean, if GB News wasn't controlled opposition, they could choose a debate between John Gaunt and I. Simple one. The truth about the vaccines, the truth about the pure bloods, the truth about hospitalizations. But we can't say these things because we're on a certain channel, but only for another 10 minutes or so. Remember, 10 or 15 minutes, I am going to go across and I'm going to turn off YouTube and Facebook. And your only chance of listening to me, if you pop across onto the other platforms, do it. Make the break. How are the football clubs going to sort this out? I know we could I'm sure there's football fans on, like Chris Davies here on the stream here. So if you are, say, Rangers, let's take Rangers. Why not? Rangers is a good enough club. They've got, I don't know, God knows, 30, 40, 50, 1,000, tens of thousands of fans. But Cranky saying only 500 can come in. So what 500? What 500? I would like to know. How do they ascertain? It can't be the first five. So Jackie asks the question, what are the other platforms you can continue the live chat? Well, Jackie, that can be, you can catch me live on BrandNewTube. The link is below. You've got me live on Odyssey. The link is below. So you can get me on these platforms when I turn off YouTube, because there's some things I just can't talk about here, and it frustrates me too much. And I talk about them on the podcast channel, of course. And it's not that I don't love all my YouTube friends. I love you all so much, but some things have to be said. And there's one story in particular I want to. Yes. So as we go across, when we do leave here and go across to BrandNewTube and Odyssey, there'll be a little 30-second countdown, which we will play. And that gives you the time just to click to the link there, and you'll be able to enjoy the fun and games over there. So that's where, yeah, there we go. And it's up on screen as well. So I just wanted to know, how are they going to implement this? Like, just at a simple level, how are they going to implement this with the football? Hello, Helena. Nice to see you. I just don't know how that's going to happen. How they're going to do it. Meanwhile, so we've been to Wales, we've been to Northern Ireland, we've been to Scotland. What about England? Well, Boris, Chris Davies says, am I live on Podbean? That's a really good question, Chris. I don't know. I don't know. Too technical. Chris Davis, don't ask technical questions of me. My producer will be able to let you know these things. I have no idea. I just know I'm live. At this point in my life, that's a plus. I mean, it's better than the alternative, isn't it? Right. Boris. Oh, Boris. Boris the Good has saved the day. Boris has said, you can have Christmas Day. Yeah. You can have Boxing Day. Yeah. Ring out the bells. Hallelujah chorus. No, we're not on Podbean, Chris Davies. Yeah, we're not on Podbean. But there's loads of stuff out in Podbean. Maybe we'll put this out on Podbean, actually. Maybe we'll do that after we finish just the audio of this. But that way you don't get to see all the live theater. You don't get to see all this dynamic action that we're putting into the stream. What was I going to say to you guys? Pun alert. Yeah, what I was going to say was that Boris has saved the day anyway. So, well, of course, except he hasn't. Except it's already been decided that England is going into the similar sort of restrictions from, I believe, December 28th. So what's that? Less than a week. You're going to be in restrictions if you're in England. Boris isn't being good at all. This is the game that they play. The game that they play is, oh, look at Cranky, how mean she is. Oh, thanks, Nick, and a very Merry Christmas to you as well. The Ribena is going down extraordinarily nicely. You know, Richie, you should never drink and live stream, but all I see is barriers, and I try to tear them down. What can I say? So Boris is going to lock you all down anyway. You know that if you're in England. It's absolutely coming at you like a train, like a dreadnought. coming your way. And yes, Craig Roberts is right. A couple of really good comments. I'm going to bring them up. Jason says, like an abusive boyfriend. Yes. See if we are. Craig says, psyop to make us all. Craig Roberts, you are absolutely spot on, my friend. This is entirely a psyops. It's entirely a psyops to make you feel grateful. Boris granted you Christmas, but you see, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, it's going to be a bit trickier then, isn't it? It's going to be trickier because by that point, you'll have the same restrictions as we have in Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. So there was that. A couple of other things I want to rattle through in the next 10 minutes or so before we move across to get the juicy, spicy action over on the other platforms that are pro free speech. And that, James Jameson says, Dove's cap. Thanks, Master Boris. Well, this is it, James. Miss L says the same. Thank you kindly, Mr. Johnson, for letting us have Christmas Day. I mean, it's an outrage, isn't it? An absolute outrage that, yes, as Jed says, drink and be merry until Boris says you can't. Well, I know what I have to say to Boris. And, well, I can't actually say it. It's not repeatable on a family channel like this. A couple of other things I wanted to talk about. Did you see the Archbishop of Canterbury, the esteemed Professor, what's his name? God, there's so much goes through my head. What's his name? The Archbishop of Canterbury. Quick, who can give me his name first? It's gone in my head. All right. Anyway, the Archbishop of Canterbury, has made it clear that Jesus, Justin Welby. Thank you, Richie. Thank you, Leslie. My brain freeze. I wonder what could be making my brain freeze. I don't know. I'll have to drink some more of this to find out. Thanks, Helen and Leslie. All you got, Desmond Tutu. Yeah, that's right. Desmond Tutu, the Archbishop of Canterbury, has made it clear that Jesus would have taken the vaccination and that it's immoral not to be vaccinated. Did you see that one? Did you see that? Yeah. I think the best comment response to that I saw was essentially what he's arguing for were the sort of things that ended up with people being in the witness box at the Nuremberg trials, I think. So it's okay. So let's see if we can help our friend Jackie here, good friend of mine, long-time friend. I'm panicking. How do I find Odyssey or BrandNewTube? I can't locate. I think our producer can help you with that, Jackie. So I think the links are below. If you look below in the description, you will find the links. But yeah, this is what Welby had to say. Apparently, it's just, you can't be a good Christian and not do what the government tells you. It's interesting perspective out there. I mean, it has to be said, and it's sad this does sadden me, but it's true. The churches are empty. The membership of the Church of England, of which Welby presides, is, Jackie, the links are really down below. You need to click a button. That's all I can say. Maybe some other people can help Jackie here in the comment stream, which I'm watching as I'm talking to you. Welby has gone over to the dark side, says Miss L. He definitely has. But yes, Leslie asks possibly the most pertinent question of all. And again, Leslie, I would ask you a question. I wonder who he worships. I just leave. Jackie may well be a boomer. So am I. Ask my producer how much of a boomer I am, and you'll get the answer. Spoiler alert: you may get dog making noises very, very shortly. But anyway, I leave that to one side. I can carry on regardless. So we've seen top boomer. Yeah, I'm number one boomer. I just press buttons and things and see what happens. So I've always been like that, actually. I am an early adopter of technology. The difficulty is I don't know what I'm doing. But anyway, yeah. So Welby anyway was there to let people know that if they are not taking the you know what, then they simply are not good Christians, which is a really novel interpretation of the Bible. The dog will indeed get a treat. Yeah, LW says Welby is a Marxist, like many in the Church of England. Well, talking of Welby, I couldn't ignore Tony Blair. Now, Tony Blair, who I would have thought as a war criminal would maybe want to keep a low profile, but no, Tony's very, very active, very busy guy. Did you see his little clip that he made where he, a little interview he did, where he made it clear that, look, in the affected accent, his affected accent, he said, look, if at this point you haven't taken the vaccine, you're an idiot. If you qualify and you haven't taken it, you're an idiot. Well, that's really that persuaded me, and I'm sure it persuaded you as well. Chris Davis says, Northern Ireland man drinks wine and neglects dog. What would Marcus Rashford say? Marcus Rashford? Who's he? Oh yeah, he's the guy who didn't win Sports Personality of the Year, isn't it? He's the guy. Actually, it was funny. Did anyone watch Sports Personality of the Year? I watched a bit of it. And my favorite bit was they had one of the penalty takers of the English team. I think it was Rashford. They showed his penalty in the Euro final qualifier, whatever it was. And boy, did he look. Was it a tragic miss? I could have done better. It was so bad. Oh yeah, Jason's right. But Marcus feeds the children. He feeds them with your taxes though, doesn't he? Not with his own income. There are the links below. The YouTube and Odyssey links are below in the description field on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, the links are down below. Marcus Rashford, the guy who doesn't write his own tweets. Yeah, but the guy who got me banned from Twitter. Yeah. Oh, I gotta love Marcus. Cheers, Marcus. Actually, did me a favor. What a hell platform to be on. But back to Tony Blair. What did you think of Tony Blair's comments? I thought they were spectacularly. Yes, they won. England won Team of the Year for losing. Brilliant, superb. Yeah, and what is that? The tennis player. What's her name? Emma Raducanu. She won the Sports Personality of the Year because she won the American Open, but she lost everything else. So really, it's the losing sports person of the year, losing sports team of the year that they time to kind of celebrate. Hello, Simon, my friend. Good to see you on the stream. Simon says his favorite bit was the end roll credits. Yeah, well, that was probably the most authentic part of it anyway. But yeah, so they've dragged Tony Blair off, probably away from an urgent meeting with Bill Gates, to come on and tell you that if you haven't had the vaccine, quite honestly, at this point, and if you're entitled to have it and you haven't, you're just an idiot. It just makes sense. It makes so much sense. I'll tell you how much sense it makes very shortly. We've got a couple of minutes before we're going to be turning the stream off. I will give I'll let you know when we're going to do it. But we're going to be doing it maybe the next 3 or 4 minutes, something like that. I'll give everyone plenty of warning before the streams are turned off. But yeah, so they wheeled in Justin Welby, they wheeled in Tony Blair. I mean, who else can they wheel in? They've got them. Maybe the Queen. What do you reckon? Do you think the Queen's Christmas message is going to be, please? Well, I mean, this is assuming that she's still alive. Do you think it's going to be something along the lines of, oh, everyone, please, I beg of you, take the booster. If you can, take the booster. And of course, because we're still on YouTube and Facebook, I have to completely agree with that. Let me be clear. I want to make it completely clear that that's, you should follow the advice of the World Health Organization. You really should, because they know what they're doing. Helen is right, of course. Helen, I'll bring your comment up so people can read it. You are absolutely right. They are. And the reason they are is because more and more people are waking up. That's the fact of the matter, and I don't like the fact that the Queen has been weaponized throughout this last 20 months by government. I mean, and the royal family have as well. I mean, Prince Charles, we know, is a globalist. He's linked with the World Economic Forum. That's a fact. That's not speculation. That's not misinformation. And as for William and Harry, well, I mean, the least said the better. So I'm afraid my enthusiasm for the royal family is pretty much all spent. Don't know about you folks. It's sad to see. But I mean, if the Queen isn't prepared to stand up for the freedom of our nation, what's the point in having a queen? Oh, by the way, I'm not arguing for a republic, not arguing that. But yeah, here's a good comment from Jed here. We are the woken. We just have to wake up more people. We do. And we do that slowly. And we do that, with kind of love in our hearts. We shouldn't be mean towards people. And we should maybe take them on the journey. Some of us are patently way down the rabbit hole. I'm so far down the rabbit hole, I can't see daylight. I don't know about you folks. Just don't see daylight anymore. But I see reality. I see things the way that they are. And I'm driven by facts and by actual science, not by pseudoscience and not by medical misinformation, especially if it comes from particular sources. But we can't say those sources because we're still on YouTube. Right. Now, folks, what we need to do is just trying to read some comments here, folks. Yeah, Jason says the Queen needs to be neutral. She does, Jason, and she hasn't been. And that annoys me. Jed, you have been, Simon says you're doing a good job tonight. Pay a rise for him. Right, that's agreed, all sorted out. I'm back, Chris Davis, your battery ran out. Schoolboy error, my. A professional man like you, Chris Davis. So, there we are, folks, on this aspect of it. So we've talked about, we've gone around the UK. Well, Jackie, that's a very good question you asked, and let's answer it when we move across. So, Jed says he doesn't get paid, and this is, of course, is correct. We are a volunteer army, all of us. We're a volunteer army, and we're all on the front line. To be quite honest, Jed says he doesn't get paid. He's quite right. This is done for a love of freedom, a love of liberty, a love of trying to make the world a place where our children can be happy, and that's the only reason for doing this, to be quite honest. I am about hopefully to become a grandfather in the next week or so, something like that. And so I already have got one granddaughter. So I want a world that people can, young kids, tiny young kids, can have a normal life in, and that's why I have to absolutely and relentlessly oppose the New World Order. A volunteer force. Well, James, I could have phrased that differently, but you know what I'm saying. So, okay, I need to hurry up a little bit, but we'll do the last 10 minutes. We'll do the last 10 minutes off YouTube and Facebook. So look, all it remains for me to say is to raise a glass to all my YouTube friends and to all my Facebook friends, and to implore you to follow us over on BrandNewTube or Odyssey when we get spicy. And we're going to get spicy in just one more gulp of this here. And so if you come over there, but I know not everyone will do that. I know some of you will stick to YouTube, and that's a pity because you miss probably most of my best content. But what can I do? If you're stuck in YouTube, ultimately I will be wiped off this platform, by the way, no doubt about it. So you're really better to make the move now. So come on across. But if you don't want to make the move and you want to stay here, I understand that and respect that. I want to raise my glass to all of my YouTube and Facebook friends. Please make the move across, because we is going across to the BrandNewTubes and the Odysseys to continue live streaming, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about the jabs. So bye-bye YouTube, bye-bye Facebook. I like all my friends there, but I hate the platforms. And let the countdown begin. I think we are in the process of